Live.
Shit.
And we are live with the UFC 69 breakdown show. What is going on, Zhang Li, in the chat? Yes, I'll get your 5-fight parlay at the end, Zhang Li. Don't worry. I got you. But UFC 69 from the Apex, 1 week notice. Jessica Andrade taking on Erin Blanchfield. Also, the return of Josh Parisian, Zach Pahuga in a co-main event, Mercine Prachniow versus William Knight on the main. I mean, it's just what more could you want from a fight card from the preeminent organization in MMA, UFC, really showing it off this weekend. What's going on? I am here with my new regular trio. We'll try to make it as regular as we can. If we're doing a card like this, I have to imagine we'll probably be able to do other cards though. Just my 2 cents. How are you today?
I'm well, sir. How are you? It is great to be back here. Thank you very much for having me. What's up, boys? Shout out to the chat. I mean, is it a hot take to say this might be like the best UFC card ever? And I would never miss that.
Ice cold take. We all know that. Tons of names here, and just tons of easy spots. And then Tommy Touchy and others are excited. Lou Betya, how you doing?
I paid him to show up. He's my buddy.
Yeah. I pay all these people in the chat. That's what we do here.
I paid that Lou Betya guy that's in the chat.
Nice.
They just announced Ed Herman is looking like who's looking like Bo Nickel's dad is fighting Zach Cummings, and somehow that's a more exciting fight than some of this.
That would headline this. That would headline this card.
It would probably be the co-main at worst.
It would be the co-main. The co-main is. I mean, there was like a string last year where there was like 4 or 5 of the worst fights of the year as co-mains to start the year. They just do this, the UFC. They're like, we don't need to make our second best fight the co-main. We need to make our second best fight like the first fight of the night or third fight of the night or whatever. Like
I can tell you, I will max bet Chris Barnett against Chase Sherman though, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I will probably go Vegas Dave Whale like 50 unit hammer on round 2 head kick KO or toe hold.
Yeah, it's got to happen. But yeah, I mean, this card I'm looking forward to talking about with you guys. There's definitely spots I'm very, very confident. I'm going to load up there, and the spots I'm not confident on, I'm not going to force any plays, and we'll kind of talk about that as we go here. But let's go ahead and hop into the card here. 11 fights. So I'm actually kind of glad there's not 14 like I usually say. I'm okay with the 11. We're starting out with my favorite of the night. I'll say that right off the bat. So I guess I'm giving away my pick a little bit here, but honestly, if you're picking Juan Carmelo, I'll listen to the arguments here, but I'm not seeing it. Clayton Carpenter. There's been a lot of combat sports since early on. Judo, kickboxer, Muay Thai as well. Was worked on the grappling later on as well. Yeah, Zhang Li, I will get your 5-fight parlay. Don't you worry. MMA Lab here, 6-0. Didn't look that great on the Contender Series, but you can see 2 wins by sub, 2 wins by KO, 2 wins by decision. Edgar Chiriz was his opponent on the Contender Series. He was decently favored. Chiriz was just very hungry. I'll give him credit. The dude was fighting like he was fighting for a job. And I mean, I think that Clayton, the one thing that I'm worried about with him moving forward, not exactly here, but moving forward, is definitely his speed. He does seem a little bit slow for this division. Definitely has the power, the technique, but it seems like he might get bigger and eventually go up the bantamweight. He does not exactly move like a flyweight. That would be my biggest concern. Concrete, maybe not an ironic nickname, but the Nick Clem fight, obviously was a 45-second fight, but that was against a good wrestler there, and a guy who looked to grapple early on and got a really slick knee bar in that fight. He's been in there with a decent level of competition. Kealohi, a guy I really respect over with LFA. I wish I could have saw more of the fight, but it's not his fault. Got the quick finish there. Definitely has the power, really good striker. He's very confident. Has trouble fighting off his back foot. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Juan Camilo could not have had kind of a worse debut to me. Just showed absolutely no technique, no composure, and got choked out with one arm. I mean, it's just I have a problem picking a guy who gets choked out with one arm afterwards. I did never pick Cowboy Oliveira. I'm never going to pick Juan Carmelo Ronderos. Clayton Carpenter levels to this game. The UFC's had their eyes on him since he signed with the LFA. Good camp in MMA lab as well. He's going to get the finish here, and it's most likely going to be submission, honestly, just because Ronderos really showed if you at all attack him offensively on the ground, he's in trouble. But the KO is open too. But yeah, I like the submission here for Clayton Carpenter. We'll start with you 2 cents, and then I'll go to Lou for the next one. But I assume you're on my side. I kind of poisoned the well here.
No, I'm happy to drink the poison, man. It is definitely Clayton Carpenter here. You said about the things that you were concerned with. I tend to agree with that, but it's like Juan Camillo is not going to be the dude to exploit it. Like his striking is so wonky. The only area I could really say he would possibly be better in is the wrestling, but Clayton is such like a scrappy, like sneaky grappler. He's just going to create some kind of scramble and either grab the leg for a knee bar or like arm bar him. He's just a limb snatcher. I really don't see the path for Juan Camillo in this one. I think Carpenter does seem like the hungrier guy. And yeah, just hearing you talk about it, I'm feeling more confident about Carpenter inside the distance, but he's absolutely the side.
Yeah, and on the Contender Series, quick note, I did have Charisse. I believe I played a little bit of a play on him because he was a huge dog there. So, I mean,
he won the first round. Like he
right.
Like
I think that right. I think it helps Clayton here though.
Yeah, like Edgar is a way better striker. Edgar's a way better striker than Ronderos.
Longer. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Lou, complete the sweep here on my favorite.
Yeah, there's no path for Ronderos. You're talking about Carpenter being slow. I mean, Ronderos is not like some speed demon. Well, exactly. Maybe he is a speed demon in a certain sense. He loves speed.
I mean, yes, true.
I told you, I got no analysis for some of these. I got to bring.
No. I mean, no. This is true. He did have a failed drug test after his. Was that after his last fight? He had that. Is that why Juan Camillo's been out for a while? But Extreme Couture versus MMA Lab. So there's that.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add. I like he's creative on the ground. Like just my 2 cents is saying, he get a knee bar like the LFA fight I saw. I mean, I feel like he's got creative subs for any part of the body like he wants to go for. And from what I've noticed, he doesn't force anything. Like he doesn't have his signature hold.
Right.
Like from his grab. And that's what I really like. Well, I mean, there's guys that like, guys that like, they're only hunting necks. He seems like he's slick enough on the ground that whatever's available, he's going to attack. And, if he has to go for an arm bar, if it's like a knee bar, like whatever is there, which is why I like his sub prop as well. I don't want to get too cute past that point, but I do forgive the Ronderos like sub to Dvorak. I mean, a couple like 2-3 days notice and like,
yeah, but
I forgive it, but it's still a bad look.
Yeah, you can go watch his other fights against very low levels of competition as well. And I mean, it's just very rarely do you find a guy gets rushed over here at 4-0 who doesn't belong over here, that it works out. Most of the time, it turns out like a Draco Rodriguez situation where it's like you rushed over here and now you're fighting in bare knuckle fighting two months later because it's just like you rushed to the spot. I just think after this fight, I think it'd be better for Juan Carmelo to get over to the LFA, get some wins against a level of opponents he should be fighting. Plus 225, minus 300 on Carpenter. He's a guy who this week I'm tagging in a bunch of parlays. I did this last week with a highly favored favorite. Works out. I mean, he is a parlay booster to me. And if he busts them all for whatever reason, then you can reload up whatever 2 or 3 fight parlays you do have. But I just don't see that happening. So I like the minus 300 here. I think he should be closer to like a -4, -5. If he would have gotten an impressive finish over Charisse, like we're looking at a much larger number here. I think people are punishing a decision when early on in his career, it helped him realize at this level, he, is not just going to go in there and walk over people. Go ahead.
Just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
If you get a decision win on the Contender Series and Dana White's still happy to give you a contract, He like they know.
Point.
Right. They knew Andy lost a round. Yeah, that's a great point as well.
Like they don't do that often. They know. Like
exactly. And they've been right usually at that. So yeah.
And I know they're contract happy, but like it's rare,
Yeah, and it's like you watch that fight and go back and tell me he didn't deserve a contract. I definitely think he did. So yeah, we're all on that side, minus 300 Carpenter. He is, again, one of my favorites on the card, even though it is his debut. He's 26 years old. I get it all. But yeah, we'll move on to the next fight. Good fight to start out the card. Next fight is very good as well. Pretty confident on this one. So I do have an early double up parlay for me, at least. I'm going to be going with the two favorites here. I do like AJ Fletcher in this situation. When I actually watch the Themba tape, I could watch, and I don't like what I'm seeing, guys, at all. He's a long striker for sure, but doesn't use the length great. And he starts to grapple at points when he's like having success. And I hate that instinct in fighters. I will never like that instinct, especially against a guy like Fletcher. When if Themba goes in on a double leg or something on Fletcher, that fire hydrant, he's going to go backwards and Fletcher's going to land on top and the mount or something. Like Fletcher has such an advantage with regards to strength, wrestling base, and the range this most likely takes place in, unless Themba completely changes his game plan overnight and just uses those leg kicks, which he does use at times, but he abandons them after a while. He stops using the distance. He gets into the range where Fletcher is going to also be able to hit him. Fletcher has the advantage in the wrestling. He has the advantage in the takedowns here. I think Fletcher does work on the ground. I don't like the instincts of Themba. I think Themba gets away with a lot of bad things, like in the Henderson Ferreira fight where he gave up his back like 5-6 times. Ferreira just didn't have an interest in going for a finish. Fletcher is a finisher. Yeah, I like Fletcher in this spot. I like him inside the distance. I feel similar to the Carpenter spot. It's just we haven't seen Themba fail in the spotlight yet, so people don't quite know. But I'm not too impressed. Themba to me is just not doesn't have the goods. He's a potential fraud. Minus 265 on AJ Fletcher here, I think, is a gift. Fletcher's learned a ton from his fights on the Contender Series and so far in the UFC. I love Fletcher in this spot. I wouldn't be surprised with the KO either, but I think he uses the wrestling and gets a sub. Luke?
Yeah. I like that Fletcher here is looking like somebody just broke into his house. Like the picture is fantastic. It's like, oh
just woke up.
I mean, look, losing to Semmelsberger's on short notice, no shame in that. And Lusa all of a sudden is looking like the most indestructible fighter on the roster. And Fletcher had tons of success against him. Like, that was a great fight until he just completely, cardio, dumped and was done. Mm-hmm. There's nothing I like about Garimbo except his name. His name is like fucking rad. Like, Yamba Garimbag, maybe like one day. But
not here. You'd have to do a very low kick to hit Fletcher's yams.
Like, he's not fighting anybody that has any skill with grappling, so he's able to get away with these horrible mistakes, like he's giving up his neck, giving up his back. Like, even the way he goes in for like the double legs, his neck is just, it's like slow. Like, he's not that explosive, even though he looks like a great athlete.
Right.
So my bet for this is Fletcher round 1, round 2. It's plus 130. If it gets to the third, look, the one concern with Fletcher, like we've seen, he's gassed, and he did all right against Semmelsberger in the third, but he was kind of done. And against Lucy, he was completely done. Also, if this thing goes to the third round, I'd be shocked. Fletcher's probably I'm not worried about Garimbo's range because Fletcher's durable.
Mm-hmm.
And so what if Garimbo hits him once or twice and Fletcher just goes through it and gets the takedown? It's fine. Not going to get hit again the rest of the fight. So right. I think Fletcher gets him out of there round 1, round 2. It's plus 130. When FanDuel opens up, round 1, round 2 sub, I'll be all over that too. Those props, last I checked, 2 hours ago, they weren't out yet.
Yeah.
For a card like this, you probably get it tomorrow, but you probably get plus 350, 300, something like that.
I'm just not worried about the power of Themba. I have not seen it in the fights I taped. He's got kind of that Kama Worthy style debut where he gets that.
You just love Kama Worthy. You love bringing him up, man.
Well, he strikes just like Kama Worthy. He really does, except Kama has more power. And Kama, if you remember his UFC debut, that was pretty quick and pretty impressive. I don't see that with Themba, and the reason it jogged that was when you mentioned the range issue and if AJ Fletcher can go through the first few strikes. And no, the handbags have not been missed yet, Bo. But
I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them for this card too, so it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have a lot of unanimous agreements on this card. I think this is another one, but let's see. 2 cents. What do you think about this one?
You called it, dude. I am completing the unholy trinity once again. I like what both of y'all said. I can't really add a whole lot to it, but the only Thimba, he has a decent right hand, but he hangs his chin out there. I really don't like his durability, dude. I know that he only has one. He got knocked out once in the amateurs and once by Dave Mazzani, but he got hurt pretty bad. In
Dave Mazzani of relation to Gina Mazzani.
Yeah, dude, it's like Gina Mazzani's jobber brother. Dude, watching some of these Fletcher fights, he kind of fucking cracks, dude. I actually think Fletcher's gonna knock him out. I think Fletcher is gonna deliver the nuclear payload. I really like that. Lose on that round 1, round 2. If the only path I could possibly see for Thimba is a club and sub. But if Angelosa, who is a pretty good striker in his own right, and fucking Semi the Jedi with that fucking nuke that he has, if they're not taking him out, Thimba Garimbo ain't going to be the fucking one. So, yeah, I think Fletcher's going to nuke him, man. But, yeah, I love that round 1, round 2.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not always about getting agreements, but these are 2 fights where I just don't really even get the other side. So, and the kind of the conditions they need to win the fight. I get it, but yeah, Fletcher's look, and then Justin, we'll put you up here for a second, Justin. Fletcher's face looks like a hittable. I thought you were mentioning Fletcher actually fighting. Never mind. What was I thinking? Yeah, he looks like a hittable Jets shirt, whatever that means. Minus 265, plus 210 on Themba. I got Fletcher and Mr. Carpenter in a money line. I'll probably do an inside the distance parlay with those 2 as well. Yeah, I do like those guys and their fights. And now the circus begins because we're in the circus division, aka the 205 division, Ed Herman's division, Zach Cummings division. OSP still fights. He's like, I'm gonna lose weight again. 205. I only want to see Ovince St. Preux fight if it's at 205. I'll say that right now. If he's at 265, you don't even know if he's trained once. So at least with this, he's eating well leading up to it, hopefully. Or he's going to miss weight by 6 pounds and this fight's going to get canceled. So I'm not going to lie. I didn't do a whole lot of tape on this. Felipe Lins, he won $1 million a few years ago with PFL. It looks like he's fighting like he's a millionaire and doesn't need it anymore. He looks like a guy who's fighting with a USADA test now instead of when he didn't have USADA tests. I don't trust Felipe Lins under USADA testing in America, period. OSP catches him with that signature kick to the gut and then left cold cocks him, knockout somewhere in the fight. I don't know, round 2, KO OSP. No, I'm not betting it. No, I didn't tape study this fight because why the fuck would I? This is not a fight that you should be betting. It's probably not a fight we should be watching, but here we are. Give me the dog at plus 160, 185 in OSP if I were for some reason betting this fight. It's probably going to be a split decision. I hope it's a knockout. So OSP. There's hard-hitting breakdown for you. Go ahead and follow that up, 2 cents.
Dude, I swear to God, I swear to you, I swear to Lou, I swear to everyone in the chat, we did not talk about this beforehand.
Absolutely not.
Dude, I told everyone Monday that I was going to save this one for Wednesday. Well, here it is, boys. I am on OSP myself.
Sweet.
Dude, both of these guys are old and chinny. I don't know if people think that, Felipe Lins is some spring chicken. The dude is pretty much my age. Fucking late 30s. I think OSP is craftier. He's more opportunistic. He's fought a way higher level of competition. Don't look now, but OSP has wins over fucking Nikita Krylov, Corey Anderson, fucking Tyson Fradro, Lord Mikhail, fucking Atomic Alonzo Minifield. He's washed. He's fucking washed. He's slow. He's chinny. But Lynn's is pretty old. He's pretty chinny too. Like they've both been knocked out the same number of times. He's a fraudulent fucking jobber. I've never been high on Felipe Lynn's. From a betting standpoint, it's OSP or pass.
Right.
I'm going to take a shot on St. Flu though, man. Like that's definitely the pick. I think I'm going to take a little stab on it too, man.
All right. We're the fools. Lou, tell us why we're wrong, and you're going Lynn's. I'm glad we're not all agreeing. I'm glad we're not all agreeing on this fight.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just not betting it. Like
no,
Justin
of course not.
says he's betting it. I'm not betting it.
No.
I'll take St. Preux because
Okay.
he lasted 5 minutes longer to get knocked out by Tanner Boser than Lynn's did.
The Boser
so
test.
That's like, yeah, the Boser test he did better.
Wow.
So just if you know, like what's crazy is OSP has every path to win here.
Right.
If he A, threw any volume, or B, did one takedown. Like
or C,
all the paths
or C worked out.
Yeah, like he
hasn't worked out in a few years.
So, like, this is one of my 4 yam bag plays. I'm probably gonna do a yam bag round robin. If you do, like, just to give you an idea of like, I'll pull it up in a second here, but
yeah, no, you can pull it up right now. And the reason I like the yam bags on this kind of fight also is that you have 2 guys who are going to get tired after 5 minutes. So they're going to be like a kick to the, belt line. They're going to be like, low, come on. Like his fingers are out. What are you doing? So these both guys are live for the tired. Give me a break with the foul, but go ahead.
So I just want to give you like an idea mathematically here as to like, because we all know this card's a joke.
Yes.
So if you did a 4 yam bag, I mean, if you're going to bet a yam bag, you got to back it up with the draw.
Yes,
draw bag.
Yeah, exactly.
I missed the draw. I had draw bag lag last week where I had picked the fight after the one that was the draw bags. But just to give you an example, if you took 4 yam bags fights, they're all plus 2,000, and you threw in an $11 round robin.
Right.
Okay. Just $1 on every permutation. $11 is going to pay you $234,171.
That's it.
If you want to play, if they're going to give us a meme card, you may as well play it like meme bets.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Go big or go home, baby. I love it.
I mean, even if you just fire $5 on every, like, dude, you'll be up like $90 if one of them hits, and like, there's a good chance that more than one.
Dude, Lou's gonna retire after this, man. We're never gonna see him again.
No, all it means is I'll just start upping the unit size. Like,
right, exactly. It's $111.
I'd be like, oh my God, $1,000 yam bag bet. So yeah, like I'll lean OSP for the sake of the show. I think whoever was, but if Lynn's was plus 180, I'm probably taking Lynn's. Like, you're taking whoever the dog is here at the price on a turd fight.
Justin going deep with the yam bag giveaway here.
I know he doesn't understand. He doesn't really fully understand my gimmick. He thinks he does. He's kind of like 40% of the way.
That's Justin with everything. He almost gets that's the beauty of Justin. I don't think he gets anything.
So I love the yam bags. If you want to do split decision, that's great. I do like the overs here a lot because Lynn's just this is the last thing I'm going to add to this. I realized this card is like the PTSD of bets that I've lost the last 9 months. I had Lynn's round 2 KO against Prochnio, and the ref even said, like, if you don't fight back, I'm stopping it. Lynn's proceeded to throw 0 strikes the next 2 minutes.
Right. Dude, that is another reason I'm fading. It's like, you can't finish fucking Prochnio, dude. I don't know.
The ref told him. The ref said, if you hit him once, you win.
Guys, Prochnio is a main card fighter. I want a little more respect for Prochnio. He's fighting on the main card. He's leading off our main card. He's going to get the people to stay with this all the way through. So,
all right, so that's it. Enough of this shit.
Yeah, enough of this. This was some good stuff here. We're all 3. We've agreed on the first 3 fights of the night. I don't know if you should feel good on that or not, but it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, plus 185 on OSP here. It does feel like that's bait. Minus 215 on Lynn's. Who's doing that? Who's betting?
I mean, just don't bet the fight.
Of course not. Yeah, like don't be like 2 cents here. Sorry. All right, we're back to the UFC with an actual fight here at featherweight. This, I think, is one of the most competitive fights on the card. I have been back and forth on my pick for this one, but I do feel pretty good after doing some of that dreaded tape study. Jamal Emmers versus Hussein Ashkabov. Hussein Ashkabov is really fun to watch. He's got tons of really cool finishes in different ways. He hasn't fought in over 2 years. He fought a low level of competition throughout his time. I just feel like he's got a whole lot of empty calories on that record. And he's got a whole lot of hype him and his brother do. And I'm curious how he does here. Jamal Emmers is getting hated on way too much going into this fight, in my opinion. I do feel that he was on his way to being Pat Sabatini 8 out of 10 times by the looks of that fight. If you ratchet that back up, if he doesn't go for a toe hold or whatever he was doing as his knee was getting shredded apart. I mean, that's just like the dumbest decision making. I get that it's live with Emmers in every fight because he does kind of fight stupid, but he went to a split decision with Giga. And, again, that was a fight where he did not fight smart. He tried to strike with Giga way too much in that fight, didn't use his wrestling. The Cachero fight, I liked what I saw. I get you should finish a guy like Vince Cachero. Cachero's really tough, and, it is what it is. I think that Emmers has not shown his full game in the UFC in 3 fights yet. And he was close to showing that against Sabatini. I think there is just such a range advantage here for Emmers. I think he is the most athletic, most well-rounded guy who Ashkabov has faced. And Ashkabov has not fought in 2 years while Emmers gets his knee shredded and he's back before Ashkabov's fought again. I just don't like the time off. I don't like the lack of good competition he's faced. Going to a decision against anybody of decentness as well. Ashkabov feels like a fraud kebab to me. And I think Jamal Emmers should be on. I know he lost by a submission. He was so close to being on a 2-fight win streak here and against Sabatini, who's a very, impressive guy. He just needs to sharpen up the decision making. He had plenty of time to worked on that with his time off. I think Emmers kind of exposes Hussein here for what he is, which is a fraud. Or is it Lou?
All right, let's finally disagree.
That's fine. This is a good fight to disagree on.
Now, I'm not betting on this card, but if you can't tell me a win against Maxime Cousin, whose record is NA, who may or may not be an actual human being, you can't tell me that's a solid win. I don't know what to tell you. His whole record is guys with records of NA. I've never
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
It tells me that I'm assuming it means he beat him to death.
Right, but the other thing is we saw this with Zhu Rong and these guys from China all the time where they're 21-0, 21-2. When you don't face anybody, you get all these first round finishes, and then you face someone who's actually decent. What are you gonna do?
Well, how many belts does Jamal Emmers have in his picture?
0.
How many does Ishkabibble have?
Is that 6? I feel like there's belts on top of belts. So I'm going to say 4.
So he should probably be minus 300, just based on that. The guy is a champion and Jamal Emmers is not. My pick is Hussein Ashkabov for 2 quick reasons. One, me and you talked about this. It might've been on the prop show when you came on about I forget who was fighting, but I was getting Natalia Silva vibes. They hadn't fought in 3 years. And I was like, holy shit, her tape's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of feel like that with Ashkabov. And he's at Tiger Muay Thai, I believe. So, at least he's, in a pretty decent gym. So we have no idea. Literally his tape doesn't matter. I have no idea what he's going to fight like. But I know that Jamal Emmers is a fucking idiot every time he fights. So give me the guy I know nothing about versus the guy I know is dumb. I hate to even cap it like this, but
Hussein's given no opportunities to show he's dumb in the last 3 years.
Well, that's the thing is I'm flying completely blind on one guy. And then on the other guy, Emmers looked good against Sabatini on the feet.
He looked great.
But so did Damon Jackson. So, come on, dude. I don't know. Sabatini has no striking game. It's everything on the ground. And Emmers made a mistake. It was probably in the moment. I don't think Emmers is a complete idiot. He's going to be the better athlete. He's going to be the best guy Hussein's fought. These are things I know. But I literally have no idea what to expect with Ashkabov. So I'm never betting it. Maybe I'm just picking this to disagree with you. I don't know.
No, that's fair.
And he has more belts.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. And then Jack saying Ashkabov by first round spinning back fist right after Emmers misses a spinning back fist or something ridiculous.
I mean, there's no better analysis than that sentence. Like that's perfect.
That's free encapsulating. Yeah. 2 cents. Whose side are you on?
God, I'm gonna be a little bitch and split this right down the middle. This is like one of the toughest fights to pick, and I agree like on both sides of what y'all said. How can you fucking trust Jamal Emmers? Like you're going for a toe hold against when Pat Sabatini has your leg. That is negative situational.
Toe hold versus knee bar.
Yeah, like you thought
even Bisping was like, it's a toe hold. Like it's a toe hold. The knee bar's gonna win, and then sure enough,
right. And people like make fun of Bisping for his like grappling background anyway, like the Japanese jiu-jitsu and shit. It's like, but I get the fade on, dude. Great soundbite, by the way. Fucking fraud kebab. Yeah, dude. The motherfucker is like high crotching people with one arm. Like he these guys are being like set up to make him look good. Like this is goddamn. I hate that I have to pick this. I guess from a betting standpoint, it's probably Jamal Emmers or pass. I was a little surprised that he was the underdog because Ashkabab is so fucking untested. Like,
what if Emmers wins by toe hold?
Yeah, Pat Sabatini is a good prospect. Maybe not like quite the dude everyone thought he was, but he's still a good fighter. Giga's a really good striker, and like Emmers held his own. Emmers is more skilled everywhere. But it's like the fight IQ is like, man, it's keeping me from betting it. I'm passing on this altogether. God. I kind of feel like I'm on the Emmers side if you had to put a gun to my head. But yeah, I guess Emmers, but I'm passing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and then Jack, he's got the winning name. Sometimes that's all it takes. That
forfeit TKO is a solid win.
Yeah,
that's a lot of DraftKings points because you get the quick win bonus there too.
Yeah, the old Trevin Giles. I don't mind that one either. Yeah, we got Jamal at a plus 120, minus 140 on Ashkabov. Like, I don't mean to be one of these guys, but Vegas knows what they're doing. And how often do you see a guy with like an Ashkabov type of name, with Ashkabov type of finishes be lined at minus 140 against someone like Jamal Emmers? Like, this is normally a minus 300 plus, line type of. So I do feel like they know something. They couldn't make Ashkabov an underdog against Emmers, but I mean, minus 140 for a 23 and 0. Look at all those belts. I got Emmers here. That's fine. All right.
Look at all those belts.
Look at all them belts. Also, Emmers going to be much, much bigger, I think, as well. So I'll be interested to see the weigh-ins. Next fight here, I don't got a whole lot to say. Nice, so I'm not going to say much at all. Lena Landsberg back, taking on Mayra Bueno Silva. I think that Lena Landsberg is a little bit better at clinch striking and on the feet, maybe. Mayra Bueno Silva better on the ground. Neither one's going to go for much. They're going to kind of tussle. Maybe a little bit of grappling one round. Maybe some cage pressure the other two. Lena Landsberg, I'll play the split decision. Why not? Egger didn't tap. Just my 2 cents.
God damn it. Dude, this fight is fucked. These are two high-end jobber extraordinaires. Fucking Lena Landsberg is older than me and on her last fucking leg. Like, Mayra Bueno Silva, talk about untrustworthy, man. She is completely Jekyll and Hyde, dude. Like, sometimes she looks like a decent Muay Thai striker that's an opportunistic sub-grappler. And other times, she's just this fucking heavy back, dude, that lets like Marina Moroz hang a $150 on her. Like, she set a personal striking record against that bitch. So, like, how do you fucking cap this, man? Like, the line is kind of fucked, though. Like, it's almost begging you to bet Lena.
Yeah.
She's kind of a punching bag, too, though. Like, she could get tuned up on the feet or get her arm snatched, maybe. Like, the line is so bad that it almost feels like Lena or pass, but you could not pay me to touch this motherfucker.
No.
I don't even know who I'm picking, man. I get for the sake of the show. God damn, I almost want to flip a coin. I almost want to kind of
You can if you want. That's pretty much what I did. Lou, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, you already know my thoughts because you and I talked about it this morning.
Yeah.
And you son of a bitch, you stole my fire.
I have not bet it.
So I'll take it one step further. And not only do I like the split decision here, I like Landsberg split decision at plus 1,600. Yes.
That's
why do I like
prices? God damn.
So, couple things. Number one, this is the second of 4 Yambag shots. It's happened in a couple of Silva fights. So Yambag's live, which also helps the split decision problem. How does Silva win? She gets submissions when people go for takedowns on her. Lena Landsberg's not going for a takedown on her. That's it. It's going to be 15 minutes of striking. This thing's going to probably go the distance. I'd say 80-90% of the time this thing's going the distance. Yeah. You have low-level strikers or low-volume strikers. One of them, of course, is a queen of elbows and one is not. But Landsberg, I actually think, has a cardio advantage. Like, the only 2 times Landsberg's been knocked out is by Cyborg, which is forgivable, and Aspen Ladd, who I believe weighed 234 pounds when the fight started. So Landsberg was in a tremendous weight disadvantage.
Oh, Landsberg.
I don't think, look, Silva, yeah, she's going to have the moments. She has the more impactful shots. But I think as the fight goes on, Landsberg can kind of have a little more volume in the third. She might look better. Against Hossa, she didn't really look bad, man. And I'd absolutely rate Hossa way higher than I rate Bueno Silva. So give me the dog shot with Landsberg, but I love the split decision at plus 1,600. Split decision in general is plus 500 here.
Yeah. This is yeah.
But plus 1,600, why not, man? Like, again, meme fight, make a meme bet. And, that's for 0.002 units.
Ooh, but you can tweet about it.
I'll tweet many times about it.
Tweet about it, your 0.001 unit bets.
Yeah, dude, get that cloud, baby.
I mean,
it's not for attention. It's not for attention.
I mean, if anybody is parlaying Silva here,
congratulations.
You're fucking drunk. Dude, you need to fucking have a serious conversation.
She is the biggest favorite on the card, obviously. Minus 500 on BetMGM right now.
She's the most, and because of that, she is the most expensive DFS option.
Who is going to own her in any lineup?
She fucking accepts takedowns. She literally, if Lena does go for her own offensive wrestling, she could smoke her.
Crazy. I don't think it's not like Landsberg has a big ceiling if she wins this week.
No,
but there's a couple of my lineups where I played Landsberg because she's the cheapest person on the board.
Right.
Her floor's not bad. I don't think she gets finished. So maybe she gets 25, 30 points, which at her absurdly cheap salary is fine. And it lets you get to Carpenter, to Fletcher, to other guys we're going to talk about on this card. Yeah. It lets you get to 4 ridiculously finish equity guys. So I don't mind playing her in a lot of lineups as and they're both going to be really super low owned. So the best way to win one of these things is to go different from the field. I think it's an interesting way to go different because everybody's going to be on Wright. Everybody's going to be on Miller. Mm-hmm. As far as that dog pricing goes, nobody's going to have her. And nobody's going to have Bueno Silva. And don't get Bueno Silva.
Yeah, don't get cute there. Yeah.
If she's more than 1% owned, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Optimize her shit.
Yeah. Minus 475 plus 380 on Landsberg. I do have kind of a semi-regular policy, which is in low-level MMA. If it's over plus 200, bet the dog. This is plus almost 400. I definitely think there's very little chance that Lena gets a finish, though. Silva, the only one who probably is getting a finish if anybody does. But don't bet this fight. It's bad. Next fight, that is at 135, by the way. We'll see what they actually weigh in at. Next fight, 155. I think another one of the closer fights on the card. Nazim Saidakov out of Serra Longo taking on Evan Elder. This fight's pretty good. Diaz fighter, Cesar Gracie. This is a pretty good fight. Good clash of styles here. Nazim looked very good on the Contender Series at times against Ahmad Hanzanzada, who I did break down, who's getting ready to fight on the LFA on Friday. LFA and PFL breakdown on the channel right now if you want to check that out. Nazim, he looked pretty good at times in that fight. Landed a really nice spinning body kick, really crisp boxing, good power, goes to the body throughout the fight, which I really, really do like. And I think it's smart to do here against a guy like Evan Elder. Elder's very tough. His stand-up is not great. His grappling is very good. I think he really does go for the finish with his submissions as well. But yeah, this is one to me that I think Nazim has just too good of a camp, going to be too prepared for this one and too sharp. I could see him going to distance in this one. I think that getting the finish on a guy like Elder might be a little tougher. But at the same point, I do think Nazim minds his P's and Q's, doesn't grapple in this one a lot, because I think that'd be quite a mistake, and gets a pretty handily decision victory here as long as he stays away from the grappling. I think for me, Elder's sub or bust. Luke?
Just of note, Elder is at least fighting at his natural weight now. His last fight was at 170.
Right.
Against Parsons. That is one of the PTSD fights. In fact, my whole thing about not betting ITDs against undefeated regional prospects is a result of that fight. The Evan Elder Preston Parsons fight, where Parsons had him in 13 minutes of chokes and could not sub him. And that was, I'm still miserable over that fight. As good as Elder, I don't think Elder's grappling maybe is like as good as you think it is, but he's definitely more proactive here.
Yeah.
But I like Sadakov's get up game. Like, he doesn't seem to stay down. He gets up like he's never accepting bottom position. The guy is immediately working his way up. And I think the disparity on the ground is a lot less than the disparity on the feet, because Sadakov all day, the striking is, this is not one level above. This is many levels of striking in terms of accuracy, in terms of power, technique, everything. Mm-hmm. I think Elder's striking technique is sloppy, but he is a good guy at fighting like a dog, like cutting range down, getting takedowns. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do a lot with him here. As long as Sadakov is able to have some distance and land some strikes, I think he should win all the moments. I think that could he knock Elder out? Maybe. I mean, I think he hits harder than anybody Elder's fought, in the limited tape that we really have of Elder. But I don't love these props. I see Moyes saying round 3. Hey, man, I love a good round 3 prop. You ain't never going to talk me off a good round 3 prop here. And Sadakov is coming off one. He's a download data guy, too. He's another guy, doesn't rush in the first round, doesn't get overexcited, starts gauging distance. And I like that. I think he's got a good future here. Him winning, I like him to win. I'm hesitant to get to a prop yet. And not only that, but at minus 170 or whatever it is, you don't need to get too greedy if you like him. I mean, that's a good enough price to bet him outright if you really wanted to. Parlay piece with Carpenter, parlay piece with Fletcher, get that to even money. You don't have to get too cute with this fight.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. And with Elder, he's at Kill Cliff now. I got him a little bit confused with Parsons there. I melded them into one fighter there.
There's an interesting thing. I'll give a shout out to my guys, Santina DeFranco and Brandon Olivas. They had a really interesting point about Kill Cliff in general, not Elder. So many fighters so just credit to them. So many fighters are going over there now that they made this comment. They don't think they have enough trainers to actually give these guys the attention they need to develop as fighters now. They're overloaded with how many people are in the gym. That
happens with a lot of these camps.
I find that, and they were mentioning their record recently, and it was huh. So I just, found that to be a very interesting point. I can't take credit for that one. I found that to be an extremely interesting point about certain camps, and Kill Cliff definitely, which is a terrible name. I will always think it's a horrendous name for a camp.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. 2 cents. Are we back to agreeing with Nazim?
We are, boys. I wish I could tell you different, but man, I'm actually pretty fucking confident in Nazim. I love what Lou said about the get up game. He does make some grappling mistakes. He made a really bad one in his debut. I think it was his debut. He threw this spinning hook kick and just got immediately taken down. He can't fuck around like that with Elder, but being at Serra-Longo and having all the grapplers they have there, I think he's going to be pretty well prepared for this one. I do think another great point about the camps. I don't know what the fuck is up with Henry Hooft and rebranding all these camps and oh, it's Sanford now. Oh, wait, no, now it's Kill Cliff. I don't like that. I think that's a fucking red flag. And that gym is on a fucking skid. Like
Yes.
most of the fighters from that gym are getting their ass handed to them anymore. I really, and on the feet, dude, another great point by Lou. Fucking, it's not even close. There is a huge striking disparity. Like Elder's scrappy, he's tough. Yeah, Nazim can make some grappling mistakes, but he does have a good get-up game. He does not accept being on the bottom. He is always looking to get back to his feet. And dude, on the feet, I honestly think Elder's going to get knocked out. Like, I get that, like, and he should get credit for the Preston Parsons fight. It's up a weight class. It's short notice. But Nazim is a better striker than both of those dudes. Like, Preston Parsons is a fucking grappler.
And here's the other
grappler.
thing. Up a weight class, that's 15 less pounds you're taking off your chin. You know, and I mean, yeah, it's like he's moving up a weight class. He's going to have a lot more weight to cut here as well. So toughness goes away with the weight. Yeah, and then MMA Minute, who's got the IV in this one? Probably Elderwood.
Right. But yeah, like Sadikov is an infinitely better striker. The punch selection, the punch placement, he has multi-layered defense. He keeps himself like safe. He parries well. He blocks and slips punches well. I think he keeps it upright and knocks Elder out, honestly. Elder has never fought a dude that hits this hard or a dude that's just as good of a striker. I think Sadikov's going to keep it upright and smoke him. I feel pretty confident. I've parlayed Sadikov already with Carpenter and Fletcher, but I might look at the inside the distance or the KO props on that one when they pop up.
Yeah, I'm playing the Moist prop. Let's go. I'll play around 3 KO.
Round 3.
Do you know what it is?
No.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, minus 170 plus 200. Minus 200 plus 170, I believe, for side of Nazim right now. Minus 185 on some sites as well.
DraftKings has it at plus 1,300. Maybe I need a little more meat on the bone.
I saw it at plus 1,600 somewhere, but I can't remember.
This is DraftKings, but
okay.
I'll see what FanDuel has it at when they put it out.
All right, next fight here. This is, I think, kind of a one I have been back and forth on, and I'm just gonna go ahead and settle on the side I'm settling on here. And I don't know why I'm leaning this way, because this seems like a horrible idea. Because on the surface, with Jim Miller and Alexander Hernandez, it's Alexander Hernandez has, probably 4 or 5 minutes of gas coming in on short notice here, and then he's going to drop off of a cliff, make a mistake. Jim Miller's taken over this fight after the 5-minute mark. I am ready to live bet Jim Miller, or I'm ready to be sad when he gets knocked out by Hernandez here. That is how I'm approaching this fight, plain and simple. I think he gets the submission, Miller does, but I could also see Miller kind of just boxing him up a little bit and riding it out for the last 10 minutes and getting a decision also, even though Hernandez is going to implode by gas. But yeah, Alexander got knocked out recently, back right away. I don't like any of this for him. I like the momentum of Miller. I like the skill of Miller. I'm just worried about Miller in the first round, getting sparked before he gets started. I'm going to take Jim Miller. I'm going to bet him live. That's where I'm going with this. 2 cents.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, this is another tough one, man. This is another one where I could flip a coin, and you could go either way with it, and you kind of lined it out. It's like Miller. If you go with recency bias, it's definitely Miller. Like he has a shit ton of experience. He's a very fucking good grappler. Hernandez is like a 1-round fighter to me, pretty much. But that first round, he's fucking serious. And like Miller, like, yeah, he's been winning these fights, but he got buzzed pretty bad by Ghost Pepper. If Hernandez cracks him early and gets him hurt, he's gonna fucking put him away. I'm kind of worried about that with Miller, but like, Hernandez is so unreliable, and dude, I fucking hate this quick turnaround. Like, this is like weeks after getting the fuck beaten out of him by Billy.
Terrible management.
Dude, it is. Like, he need to talk to somebody about that, dude. But fuck, man. Thinking about it and trying to like cap it in my mind, like I've watched both of these dudes fight a lot, and it seems to be like a pattern with Hernandez. Like, he's so fucking good. I mean, he knocked out the dude that could be fighting for a title here soon. Like, but he's very consistent with falling off a cliff. So, yeah, I think I think Miller probably, but I've got a weird feeling Hernandez might smoke him, and like some people won't see it coming because I get the fade on Hernandez, but yeah, give me Miller with a shit ton of trepidation.
Yep, I feel that. Lou, how you feeling?
Full disclosure, Jim Miller's one of my top 5 favorite fighters, like, of all time. Like,
Good choice.
just love the guy. And if you're trying to get somebody like new into the sport, he's a perfect guy to show because he's really well rounded. The career's been great. The career arc's been great. The personal story of like battling back for like everything about the dude, except that he lives in New Jersey. Everything else about him is great. So, of note, this fight's at 155. Hernandez not making the weight cut like he did 2 months ago, and that Hernandez took this fight on short notice. And as you guys said, that he's taking the short turnaround. This whole like thing about Hernandez coming out strong in the first round, you know, Billy Q has no, and I love Billy Q. Billy Q has no defense. Beating Billy Q in the first round, Spike Carlisle beat Billy Q in the first round. I don't think the only guy that didn't beat Billy Q in the first round, like that didn't win a round, was Mowgli, because he's just fucking shot.
And that white dude he fought in his like debut killed him.
Yeah. So I think Miller is probably one of the best defensive fighters that Hernandez has ever fought. Like everybody like this is narrative that Hernandez is just gonna like mow him down in 2 minutes, but like I don't know, man. Like, yeah, he got clipped by Gonzalez, I know. But Mata's a better striker than Hernandez. He's just not, he's not as wild. Like, he's more controlled. But I think Miller's defense has been good. Also, nobody leg kicks Hernandez. Miller is going to wear on him early with the leg kicks, which I think is really important. Miller round 2, well, I mean, but it's another guy with like we're talking about like 3-4 minutes of cardio, like Spike Carlisle. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why Miller can't. So I like Noah Allen said the under. Like, that's one of my bigger bets on the card. Yeah. Like, I'm buying it up. I'm doing under 2.5. I'll lay a little bit of vig here. I think Miller gets him out of there in the first 2 rounds. Hey, man, Miller round 2 has been working. Ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. But Miller is just such a genuine threat on the feet or on the ground. And, one other thing I'll add to this is, like, if you're Alex Hernandez right now, is there a confidence issue? Like, why are you taking this fight? Mm-hmm. Like, this is a weird fight to take for him. You're going from Moicano and Billy Q. Like, this is no offense to Jim Miller, but their career arcs. I mean, he has nothing to gain by winning. What does Hernandez gain by winning this fight? If he loses this fight, he could be cut.
Right.
Be 3 finishes in a row. Because I don't think Miller's winning a decision.
Yeah.
If Miller wins, he's going to get a finish. It'd be Hernandez being finished 3 times in a row by unranked guys. Moicano was Moicano unranked at the time, or was he like?
He was like 16th, probably. He was like fringe.
So, look, Hernandez may be fighting for his job here, but it's a weird spot for him. It's a weird turnaround.
It's a weird line.
It's a weird line. Well, yeah, I don't know. Miller's being disrespected on the number,
right?
So give me Jim Miller. I like the idea of live betting him. Although I'm going to tell you right now, Aaron, I don't think you're going to get the number you think, because I think Miller's going to have like a super competitive round. And Billy Q live, I hit Billy Q live against Hernandez. He was, I want to say plus 250.
Yep.
And he was a plus 150 dog, but he got his ass kicked in the first round.
Right. Yeah. If this gets to the second,
you're right. They're gonna know. Like they're catching on with.
And plus you can get plus 185 on them right off the bat here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys a question for my own edification and for anybody in the chat that might be wondering. Like, I'm not super experienced with live betting. When would you do that? Like, at what point, if you think that Hernandez is gonna win the first round, like at what point in the round do you live bet it? Like, do you wait till the round ends, or like how do you do that?
I wait till the round ends, but you can play it however you want. But
yeah, you play it how you want. I definitely just wait till the round ends. Myself, like, there's just not a cue in the first round where I'd be like, and here we go.
Right.
But a lot of times I have like the strategy in my head. Like I even said, if I get a good price on Modescus after one, but the price was terrible. Like I said, if I get plus 500, I'll bet him. But I think he was like,
there's nothing that's more feel based than live betting. Like,
right. I was
giving someone else an advantage, because it's what you're seeing and feeling in the moment.
Except Billy Q. Like, you leave it open, because that's like an auto. I know I'm betting him after round one.
And then
I
here's
just
the
didn't know-
question. This is a decent question, but yeah, I think he's a 55er.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been his whole career. Yeah, so but go ahead, 2 cents.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I didn't know if it was one of those things where like, yeah, to be safe, you wait until the round ends, but like everyone has the same idea of like live betting Miller after that. So I just was curious.
In a spot like this, honestly, it's very rarely the spots where I'm like, I'm gonna live bet this guy after round 1 where it actually works out that way, because
Right.
that is like what everybody's thinking with this fight. So it's usually those fights where something unexpected happens and you feel like your fighter's script is still in play.
Gotcha.
I guess. So
Thank you for that.
All right, no problem. We spent an hour almost on the prelims. I promise you we're not going to spend an hour on this main card. This main card sucks. This main card is terrible. Don't spend money on this main card betting it heavily, because if you are, you're starting out with Marcin Prachniow versus William Knight at let's say a catchweight fight. I know it says 205. Does anybody believe that William Knight is going to weigh in at 205?
It's going to be at 218.
218 and 224 or something like that. This fight just is so gross, man. Like, congratulations if you have it all figured out which side is the right side to go with this one. William Knight, I don't think he practices fighting at all. I'm pretty sure he just lifts weights like at all times and just will not do cardio, nothing like that. Prachniow is allergic to pain, particularly of the punching variety. He really doesn't like getting hit. It bothers him greatly. He shells up. I don't know. I'm going to go with Prachniow round 1. KO. Gross. Lou?
This is number 3 in the Lou Betya Yam Bags series of this card.
Good.
I hate both of these. I hate both of these guys. They've both cost me money when I'm betting against them somehow in fights they've lost, which is like, it's really hard to do.
Mhm. Agreed.
I'll make the same stupid mistake and pick Knight like always, because he looks like
he looks like he should be good.
Like if this was a fight where I didn't know the rules, I'd be like, oh, this dude's gonna kill that guy. Like,
battle of 34-year-olds here.
I know people are on the under this week too, but like,
you never know here,
dude. If this thing gets out of the first round, what are we getting? Like, this is going to be one of those fights where the ref's like, I need more activity, guys. Like, it literally may be a cage pushing, no volume fight after the first round. So like, if you're like, don't bet the under. If you're going to bet any kind of violent bet here, bet the fight to end in the first round, because out of the first round, you should rip up your ticket like an old man in a casino racetrack. I got screwed in the 5th, Johnny. Like, you're done. Like, just don't bother anymore. Like, I know Knight lost to Devin Clark in the 3rd round, but
he got knocked out by Tefan Nchukwi.
But Clark actually has, like, not that Clark's good, but he actually has a skill set I could describe in more than 3 words. Neither one of these guys has that.
Just think about how good William Knight made Dawoon Young look.
Yeah.
He made Dawoon Young look like an Olympic wrestler. Didn't Dawoon Young take him down like 21 times in that fight?
I think it was 8 times. Yeah, but it was too many.
It was like 21 times.
It was 8, but I think it was just only in the 2nd and 3rd round. Like, I don't think he got any in the 1st round. It was just like he just kept dumping them.
William Knight makes a lot of jobbers look halfway fucking decent.
Marcin Prachniow is about to have a show out night. I'm feeling confident. No more I think about it. Go ahead, 2 cents.
The William Knight versus Marcin Prachniow is a fucking disgrace to humanity. Man.
Main card. Start out the main card with this. Don't put it as the first fight. Main card.
The prelims and the main card are completely fucking ass backwards, dude. Seriously. I don't know what kind of world we're living in here, but here we go.
Jim Miller couldn't make the main card.
This shit is unreal.
It's kind of ridiculous that he's not on the main card. Like,
boys, I can't believe that we're here, like having to talk about this, but here the fuck we are, man. Marcin Prachniow, like, I can see him fighting like a puss, skirting along the outs, like the edge of the octagon, leg kicking, jabbing, and winning. Like if Marcin Prachnio wins the decision, it is going to be the worst fucking thing you've ever seen in your life before.
A
Like
William Knight decision be that much better?
Well, I don't think that exists. I don't think that exists here. Like I honestly don't think. I'm just gonna say Knight bonk. This is pretty much a coin flip. I'm just gonna say Knight bonks him. Like William Knight is so fucking unreliable. Marcin Prachnio is so fucking chinny. Like Knight doesn't prepare. I never know what I'm gonna get from Marcin. He like. I hate this fight, man. Yeah, give me Knight by fucking nuclear KO, but Marcin will probably knock him out, like you said in the first round. But
you want to know what the split decision props are for this?
Oh my god,
even money.
Let me look. Let's see what they each are to win.
Let me say this: if I hear William Knight say this is the easiest weight cut of his career, I'm gonna bet Marcin Prachnio.
Prachnio plus 1,600, Knight plus 1,400 to win by split. I'm telling you right now. I understand why Just My 2 Cents is saying Knight's going to bonk him. And
look at Knight's career. He bonks a couple of the guys, but the rest of them go deep or to decisions.
And I know you said Prachnio round 1. I'm telling you, if this fight gets out of the first,
it's wishful thinking, Lou.
It's going to be 2 9-9 rounds at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, Dawoon Young's probably going to come in and take them both down and win the fight. It's going to be like SummerSlam. It's going to be like Dawoon Young from the rafters.
Like Blagoy, like this makes me want to see Blagoy fight.
Blagoy got stabbed in the chest
9 times.
Do you see that scar?
Yeah,
almost died. Yeah. By the way, the odds for this fight comical. The favorite at -120 is William Knight. Congratulations, everybody. We've made William Knight a favorite at light heavyweight. He's not even favored to make weight, yet he's favored to beat Marcin Prachnio.
Dude, if you bet on this fight, you are the old degenerate that Lou was just describing. I'm sorry. You need to call the number if you bet this.
Oh, did Knight say it was the easiest weight cut of his career, though? He's bragging about his weight cut on social media. I need to see the easiest weight cut of my career. I have it figured out now. I'm on the Atkins diet. Like, I need that to bet Prachnio. Otherwise, I have to just sit back and watch this fight. I don't need to bet Marcin Prachnio. Let's be honest. Both guys 34. Don't worry. We're heating it up with the heavyweights. Josh Parisian, Jamal Pogues, Jamal Pogues, the finishing machine. Lou talked to me before this fight card. He said he had a prepared statement. I don't have a prepared statement on this. I will say I interviewed Josh Parisian before his split decision against Roque Martinez, where he said he was having the best camp of his career, never in better shape, and other things. And go back and watch that fight if you want to see how he looks. And Jamal Pogues can't finish a sandwich. So, Lou, Betya, your statement.
Okay, so I have prepared a statement about this fight. I won't mention names. There is somebody who believes themselves to be a content creator and handicapper in this space. And they are one of these people that likes putting out ridiculous bets for clout. I won't say who it is, but they took Pogues by submission. So if you search Twitter for that, I'm sure you can find it. And I would like to make a prepared statement to address the paragraphs explaining the Pogues submission. If you'll give me a second here.
Thank you.
Mr. Name Redacted. What you have just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Fine, but
yeah, and very beautiful. Features a fight for a reason. Features fight for a reason. Pogues inside the distance is what Noah says.
The pick this is the 4th Yambag pick, by the way, because it has Josh Parisian, which is all I need. It probably goes to decision because I can't trust on Pogues to wrestle like he should. He's probably going to stand for 5 minutes, and actually he may lose the first round because he decided to box, which is the only chance Parisian has in this fight. and then maybe he takes over in the second and third, and he like skull fucks him like Dontel Mays did in the third round, which is like very disturbing to watch, but happened. So I guess Kogas, but like I'm never betting that line. The pick is Pogus. I'm never betting, but it will complete the Yan Bag round robin. That's all I have to add.
Yeah, I'll say Pogus faced Tim Hiley 2 fights ago. Tim Hiley is a middleweight who they fought at light heavyweight, and he still didn't finish him there. I think that Pogues is okay. He got submitted by Alex Polizzi, another guy who is not a very big fella himself. All I got to say with this fight is that there's definitely a world where I think that Josh Parisian is too big and just is, able to put together the cardio and lay on him and kind of put the power on him for a couple rounds and eke out a decision. I wouldn't eke that out. I know his cardio is atrocious. I don't know how good Pogas will look here at heavyweight. I wasn't exactly impressed from him at heavyweight. I think he's more of a light heavyweight when you're all done. I don't know, man. Like, this is just not a fight I want to get involved in. Pogas is my pick. Pogas by decision is my official pick. 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same mind. Like, Parisian, God, dude, they are just determined to have all of these fucking low-level heavyweight jobbers just, like, play out all their contracts, man. This is crazy. Like, I think Pogues is the better fighter. He's the cleaner boxer. I think he could make Parisian look pretty bad on the ground. Like fucking Brett Martin just kind of like fat boy Parisian. He like sat on him. Parisian went for an armbar and he just flopped over and fucking Kimura'd him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just like
Brett Martin.
I guess he's like, I think if he wrestles him and stays on top and avoids the submissions, I think he wins a pretty clear decision. But I would never fucking bet this. This is another just like nightmare fight. Pogues. Yep. Sure.
Did nobody know what movie this was from, by the way? I kind of figured
Billy Madison. Yeah, the Billy Madison fucking.
I mean, I see one person in chat that I did not expect to get it, but like I kind of thought most people would,
Oh no, I definitely no, yeah. Come on, man. Of course. Like I didn't want to spell out your joke for you.
I couldn't tell you I was doing that exact speech, but I figured you'd know within 2 seconds.
No, of course I did. Adam Sandler raised me. Plus 200 on Josh Parisian, minus 250 on Pogues. So good for you if you're betting that. I'll tell you right now, Zhongli, I'm trying to find my 5-piece parlay here. I've got 3 of them. It's hard to find the last couple, I'll be honest. So I'm going to do my best here, but I'm not expecting the 5-piece to come through this week. Co-main event time. Zach Pahuga earned his co-main event spot by losing to Kamaru Usman's little brother, who's terrible at fighting, who lost to Brandon Sales in one of the funniest fights you're ever going to see if you want to go back and watch that fight with PFL. Horrible fight. Zach Pahuga getting a co-main event spot against the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright, whose first 10 opponents were 0-10 combined. Jordan Wright, I like Jordan Wright, man. His offense is really, really exciting. It's just that he falls off a cliff as soon as he gets hit. His cardio is not great. Level of competition is not good. He's not super well-rounded either. Here's the thing. He's facing a guy in Zach Pahuga, cutting down to 205. All Zach's trying to do is make weight at this point. And if you look up Zach Pahuga's Twitter, he's complaining about his flight being delayed and how he's cutting weight and nothing makes weight worse than getting a flight delay and he's going to be grumpy. I just don't take Zach Pahuga very serious, man. I think he's going to be much slower than Jordan Wright. And I think Jordan Wright can really kind of spark him early. I do not think this fight gets out of the first round. I really don't. I think either Zach KOs him or Jordan KOs him. And I'm going to say Jordan KOs Pahuga here. So Jordan Wright by KO. This line cracks me up. Just my 2 cents. Am I crazy here?
Absolutely not. And finding out, I'm not trying to make a joke or lie about this at all, man. I mean, the passing of Jordan Wright's mother, I think that's going to give him a little extra motivation here.
For sure.
Pagua is not very good. I wouldn't say that the guys that Jordan Wright has lost to are world beaters necessary, but they're not trash either. Like they're all UFC level fighters. You know, you can split hairs, Donnie, about how like really good they are or not. But I mean, Jordan Wright takes care of, like, if you're a total jobber, Jordan Wright's going to take care of you. I can't say Pagua is like too far removed from that. So yeah, I actually don't mind Wright in this spot. Like he's offensively, he's kind of dangerous. I could see him knocking Pagua out with like a knee or maybe like a head kick. But yeah, I'm going to go with Wright. I don't know if I'm going to get to the window on it, but I'll take him for the pick, the upset.
Yeah. All right, Lou. We're both on the Beverly Hills Ninja here. What's your thoughts?
Round 1 KO plus 600. Let's go.
Sounds great.
I mean, I don't want to echo I don't really want to echo the sentiment about his mother passing away, but the last time a fighter lost somebody in his family, like a couple days before the fight, was Damon Jackson flat out murdering Pat Sabatini. I also I know Jordan Wright's moving up for this. This is the 205.
Right.
I kind of like the one thing Jordan Wright has is scary power. I don't think he's going to lose that power up at 205. Like his power is because he launches his whole body into it. It's crazy. Like how he throws. Like his technique actually looks good, but then you watch in slow motion, it's almost like his feet come off after he's like Supermaning, like literally like flying into space. Yeah, the unders are fine. You know, I don't have much more to add to the technique stuff here. I'll say that I bring up the DFS stuff once in a while. You know, look, he's going to be really popular in DraftKings this week because he's the second cheapest guy on the slate next to, or might be third, but next to Landsberg. I think he's seven. He might be the second.
He has so much more power than someone like Landsberg.
Well, Well, that's the thing is his floor is 0 points. He gets bonked and gets nothing. Right. But his ceiling is 60-second win. You know, I don't know, man. The only thing I worry about here is are we going to get D1 Jordan Wright like we did last time against Dusko? Or what are you doing, dude? And I wonder, did his camp say look, if you're sick of getting bonked so early, change your strategy? But I'll bring up this one fight. We'll move on. The Bruno Silva fight. He almost knocked him the fuck out in 10 seconds. I mean, and Bruno Silva is a not just way more skilled guy than Pauga, but a way more dangerous guy. And he's I don't give a shit. Let's go, dude. And Silva had to hit him I think it was 6 or 7 times. I don't think Pauga's going to one punch him here. I don't think Pauga really has that skill set. He's more of a grappler who can ground and pound you. If he gets on top of Wright, it's done. Fight's probably over. But every second this fight's standing, man, it's hard not to like Jordan Wright. And he hits harder than Muhammad Usman.
Yeah, and Jordan's saying he's going to wrestle again.
Well, why? I mean, why?
Right.
As Terry Crews would say on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but why? Why are you doing this, man?
Yeah.
But look, just don't get me again with my money here. Right round 1 KO.
Yep. Because then that would
yeah, and under 1.5, I feel is, other than Malarkey over last week, no, not this time.
Yeah,
Jordan Wright.
Yeah, and then I'm with Jack here. This is one of my reasons for taking Wright. He's going to be a lot faster than Pahuga, who's dropping down. Wright's coming up. I like that. I think Wright's still going to have the reach advantage also on Pahuga. He's going to be taller still. So, yeah, I do. I like Wright.
You want him to win. So you just want this guy to win.
Yeah, of course.
He's good he's good for, look, he shouldn't be in a co-main event.
Yeah.
But anytime I hear that he's going to be on the card, I'm
it's fun. He's a fun player to watch.
I still want them to run that Marquez. I need that Marquez fight before one of them's cut. Because I really wanted to see Wright just batter him for 5 minutes and Marquez laugh at him. And then Marquez push him over in the second win.
I hate Marquez so much.
No, but that would have been a funny fight. That would have been a really weird, funny fight if it ever happened.
Yeah, and then plus a 230 on Jordan Wright, minus 275 on Zach Pahuga. That is insane to me. I don't understand at all why either one of those guys would be minus 230. But we're to the main event. This has been a great card to break down with you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Over 20 viewers, so pretty happy with that. Appreciate everybody, all the love and support. So we got Jessica Andrade taking this fight on a little over a week's notice. Going back to the beginning of the video, Mick stopped in, Stubborn Mick, our good friend. He stopped in to just remind everybody that Valentina Shevchenko and Erin Blanchfield are not the same person. So when kind of bringing up the takedown defense of Jessica Andrade, I get that fight. But yeah, this is one where, for me, I just think it's too much too soon for Erin Blanchfield. I think when she is going to struggle with the takedowns on the feet, I think that she leaves a lot of holes open in her defense. She's not the quickest of strikers. I think she needs to have that whole game to be able to beat somebody like Jessica Andrade over 25 minutes. I don't see Jessica Andrade winning a decision necessarily. I do think she has the finishing upside here. And I think that, it probably takes a couple rounds. I think it's going to be, first few rounds of Erin maybe having some success at times with the wrestling, but I think overall she's not going to have as much luck in this fight. I just think it's too much too soon. You see Jessica Andrade go 15 for 15 on the takedown defense against someone like Lauren Murphy. I just think Erin Blanchfield's getting a little too hyped up too soon. For me, I just think that there's levels to this game. I'm taking Jessica Andrade, slight favorite here too. So, going to be the fifth leg in my parlay for Zhang Li, just to let him know that. But yeah, for me, I just think Jessica is going to have the advantage in the stand-up. She keeps it there and wins this fight. I think her takedown defense is going to be good enough. So I like Andrade. 2 cents.
Man, this fight is awesome. The fight itself, Andrade versus Blanchfield, kicks ass. Me personally, I fucking hate it. Jessica Andrade is bar none my favorite female MMA fighter, and Erin Blanchfield is like my new favorite fighter. Like, I'm a huge simp for Blanchfield. So this one personally is a fucking heartbreaker. It's kind of lose-lose. But as far as the fight goes, I kind of agree with what you said. It's not that Blanchfield is bad at all. Like, I think she has the ingredients to be a future champion, but she was on a good trajectory, man. Like, she was like taking like incremental little like steps up. Like, okay, we're giving you slightly better competition. You can still smash them, but it's like to go from Molly to a former champion like Jessica, dude, this is like Blanchfield's first 5-round fight.
Correct.
Dude.
6 5-round fights for Andrade.
Yeah. And it's at a really high level. The experience isn't even close. The striking, like on the feet, I think Erin Blanchfield is going to get knocked out. Like, it's Jessica her takedown defense isn't atrocious. Like, and the people that are beating her, they're usually pretty fucking good. Like, that's usually her last few losses are only to champions. Like, Blanchfield is looking real, like, she has the makings. I think in a few years, maybe she could be Jessica, but it's not like Jessica's fucking old. She's 31. Like, she's pretty much still in her prime. And like, dude, on the feet, she ain't ready. She's going to get fucked up on the feet. Like, Molly, she fucked Molly up on the ground, but like when they were standing, Molly was touching her. Jessica's going to be hitting so much harder. And like, yeah, the body attacks and like the takedown defense is, like you said, is going to be good enough. So give me Andrade. I'm considering betting it. The inside the distance. I might throw in her parlay, but I think Jessica's the side here, and you're getting a nice little price tag on it too. Like, for
it's at minus 130. It's at minus 135 now in Bovada.
Wow, that is tasty, and I'm probably going to jump on it somehow.
Yeah, I'm going to be on it as well. It is the fifth leg in the parlay. I'll go into that in a second, but we're in 4 digits comfortably for the 5-fight parlay this week. So, Lou, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Let me be the lone dissenter. I love Blanchfield in this spot. Man, I'm just going to say it right now. I'm a Blanchfield truther. I think she's going to be the champion one day. I think her top game, if she gets Andrade down, and I think she's going to get Andrade down at some point in the first round, maybe early in the second. If she gets on top of Andrade, she's going to maul her. She may get her out of there, and it may only take 1 takedown. This is not to dispute anything about Andrade's skill set, her toughness, everything about her. I just think Blanchfield is if you want to give me this whole JJ Aldrich like 1 round thing, like great. Congratulations. Talia Santos had a bad fight. Nobody cares anymore. You're allowed to have bad rounds in the UFC. And if you want to give me, oh, well, I'm not impressed with Molly McCann win, well, why not? I mean, there was a game plan to be executed to beat her. She executed it perfectly and was violent as hell to do it. So it's very impressive. How many times have we seen fighters just come out and say, like, we know what the game plan should be and they don't do it. She executes the game plan perfectly. I imagine they're going to have her perfectly coached. She's going to be ready. I don't like the short notice from Andrade. I know she didn't take any damage from Lauren Murphy, but she still went through a full camp. She still threw a ton of strikes, and it wasn't long ago. So give me Blanchfield here. Give me Blanchfield in the distance at plus 300 to make a statement.
Okay. All right. You are buying on to Blanchfield. I
admit that I love the way she fights too. Like, I like both of these fighters, but I love the way Blanchfield fights. And Andrade has nothing to gain by this win, by the way. This is it's weird that she took this fight because I don't think she has much to gain here.
Yeah, and I love my girl Jillian, but Jillian also did choke Molly McCann to sleep. So,
Molly's a fucking jobber, man. Like, no one has ever even come close to sniffing a title shot.
So many levels above. I do think that I don't agree with the love coming in here. So I do think this is a good spot for Andrade. I like the price tag.
For what it's worth to anybody watching this, anytime there's like that 50-50 Twitter war fight, I'm always on the wrong end of it. So
yes, that's true. That
I'm 100% on the wrong end of it. So I like Blanchfield. So I'm telling you right now, just go bet the house on Andrade.
Yeah.
But it depends on what this line comes in at. Like, I mean, look, man, if Andrade gets to if she gets to like minus 110,
which it's like approaching that quickly. I'm going to wait for a minus 120 or so. Minus 135, I think it might be as good as it gets, though.
I don't have a bet on it yet. Right. I don't have any bets at the moment.
Andrade is not going to be a dog by fight night.
No, but I mean, what could this get to? Minus 110? Like, minus 150? By the way, I like that Justin, lives for just coming in streams that I'm on and then not understanding literally any of the English that I know I speak English.
I don't know
why. He doesn't. I speak English and I'm not quiet, so I don't understand.
I don't know if Justin speaks English.
I'm pretty sure. There's no way he does at this point because I know that I'm speaking and enunciating and I'm not quiet, so I know the points. Like, we'll see explanation why Erin lost this weekend. The justification for the bet is I like Erin. I like her skill set.
Right.
And I just said that Andrade is like one of the greatest fighters in the roster. If she loses to Andrade, it's because Andrade is the better fighter. There's your explanation. I'll explain it 6 more times if you want.
Dude, I see the side. Like, I totally see the point. If she gets on top, it's going to be bad news for Jessica. Like, she has been out grappled before. She has been smashed before, so she could do it.
Yeah. No, that's going to do it. Real quick. I've been going through the whole quick fight parlay. You get your quick fight picks. That takes 20 minutes. You guys can go back and listen to that. My 5-fight parlay, though, is going to start, of course, you all know, Clayton Carpenter, AJ Fletcher. Those guys are for sure in there. Nazim. Those 3 I feel very good about. We got a plus money guy on the 5-fight parlay. And I was choosing between Jordan Wright and Jim Miller. I'm going Jim Miller, though, at plus 185 over Hernandez here. And main event, I'm putting Andrade in there. Minus 135 gets me for $20, wins you $250. So $10, 125, $5, 75. Or, it's just it's a plus 1250 parlay for 5-fight money line parlay. Got the underdog in Jim Miller in there. If you want to switch out Andrade and put Jordan Wright in there, it's extra juicy. But any parting words, anything to say before we call it a day, Lou?
Yeah, my prop show is going to be 6 minutes long this week, and seriously, it's going to be like I don't know what I'm doing yet. I refuse to have a guest this week because I can't in good faith ask anybody to have broken down this card with me from a prop show level. So it's probably going to be bags, split. Like and subscribe, See ya. Like, that's the show. It's going to be like a TikTok video at this point.
Yeah,
It won't even be a YouTube show.
It's a YouTube short this week. And yeah, Justin, we all love you here. So that's why we talk.
I don't know how Snapchat works, but it could be like a snappy chat for my picks.
Awesome.
I'm 45. I don't know how that works.
No, you're doing great. Can't wait to check that out.
Can I make a Vine? Do they still do that?
Well, yeah, after TikTok gets outlawed by our government because it's the Chinese spying organization.
Make
2
a
cents.
Vine and I'll put it on my MySpace.
2 cents. What's your closing thoughts? Are you doing your pre-weigh-in show this Friday and everything?
Closing thoughts. As always, thank you very much for having me on the show. It was a blast.
25 live viewers at the close, baby.
Let's fucking go, dude.
That's beautiful. Organic.
For this card.
Damn right. That's what I'm saying, man. You guys are savages.
Lou, always a pleasure. Good luck with your yam baggery. I will be checking out your prop show. I will be back on Friday to do the weigh-ins. The only bet I have right now is, and it's actually a free bet, but I have AJ Fletcher, Nazim, and Carpenter. Got me plus 177. I feel pretty good about those three, but I'm going to be adding some more, and I will give out all my official bets and stuff on Friday. But yeah, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great stuff, guys. I was looking forward to talking about this card with you guys. Always look forward to it, and definitely feel better about some of these reads here. I do like that 3-piece as well. With just my 2 cents, I am going to be putting a few units down on that because I do think that's a plus 170 that really should come in. Those 3 opponents should not be in the UFC, and they're the 3 guys who they're facing in Nazim, Fletcher, and Carpenter, I think do belong. So you get both sides, opponent who doesn't belong and an opponent who I think is getting a favorable matchup. So that's going to do it. Check out Lou Betya and everything over at MMA Engine. Check out Just My 2 Cents and his YouTube channel as well. And we will see you guys. Third card next week, whenever the next card is.
Span and Krylov.
Span and Krylov next week. So looks like the 3 amigos will be back hopefully next week, but I'll definitely be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. regardless. You already know that. Check out the LFA and PFL breakdown on the channel already. Put it up yesterday, so that is in the timestamps are in the description. Have a good one, everybody. Keep taking care of each other out there, and 20 viewers to go. Peace.